Okay, hello ESL 42 class. Next I'm going to get you started on chapters 13 and 14 in vocabulary. Okay, so we're in our vocabulary book and now I'm looking at page 76. I'm asking you to listen to this lecture and begin both of these chapters and we're going to finish the chapters in class next Thursday. So all you have to do here is listen to me pronounce these words, make certain that you know what they mean in context, and answer matching words with definitions. So we are going to do now, in this lecture video, start two chapters. Chapter 13 on page 76, and then we'll continue with chapter 14 on page 80. So now, please, have your book in front of you, read along with me, and pronounce these words carefully there at home to make sure that you know how they're pronounced correctly. So go ahead and practice now. Page 76, number 1. The first word is pronounced congenial. Again, congenial. Here are the sentences. I was nervous being at a party where I didn't know anyone, but the other guests were so congenial that I soon felt at ease. Beware of friendships that begin in internet chat rooms. People who seem congenial online may be anything but pleasant in real life. So what do you think congenial means? The second word is flippant. Again, flippant. And the examples. Don't give me a flippant answer, George's father told him. Your financial situation is a serious matter. And the second example. When a teenage boy is asked to clean his room, he's likely to give a flippant response such as, why should I? I cleaned it last month. So, what does flippant mean? The third word in chapter 13 is impasse. Again, pronounced impasse. And the examples. The jurors had reached an impasse. They couldn't agree on a verdict. Some thought the defendant was a murderer, but others were sure he was innocent. Second example. If you think you've reached an impasse when trying to solve a problem, take a break. The solution may occur to you when you're doing something else. So what do you think impasse means? Number 4, perception. Again, pronounced perception. Brenda's perceptions of others are usually accurate. She's a good judge of character. Our perceptions of our problem differ, Tanya explained. Sam thinks money is the main issue, but I believe it's a question of who controls the purse strings, who controls the money. Purse strings as an example. Okay, so what does perception mean? 5, the word is prompt. Again, prompt. The examples. To prompt her son Bryson to get a job, Mrs. Davis pinned the want ads to his pillow. Fast food clerks prompt customers to spend more money by asking such questions as, would you like cookies or an apple pie with that? So what do you think prompt means? The sixth word is pronounced prone. At the bottom of page 76, prone. The examples. Mr. Walker is prone to sleep problems, so he limits his intake of caffeine. Prone to fits of laughter during class, Chris controls himself by chewing on his pen. Those are a little tricky examples, but see if you can figure out what prone means. Okay, at the top of page 77, the next word for chapter 13 is rapport. Again, rapport. In high school, I had such good rapport with my gym teacher that our close relationship continues to this day. If no rapport develops between you and your therapist after a month or two, start looking for a counselor who makes you feel comfortable. Okay, a therapist, of course, someone who helps you figure out problems or emotional issues. So what do you think rapport means? Our next word is based on the word rational, which means logical. But this type of word has an E at the end, and we know that changes the vowel sound. So the next word, 8, on page 77, is pronounced rationale. Again, rationale, with the accent on the last syllable. Here are the examples. Danielle's rationale for majoring in business was simple. She said, "I want to make a lot of money." The next example. The rationale for not lowering the drinking age to 18 is that self-control and good judgment are still being developed at that age. So, what do you think rationale means? Relent means to give up, and our next word is relentless. And we know the suffix at the end of the word less means not, so let's see what this means. The dog's relentless barking got on my nerves. He barked the entire 2 hours his owners were out. In a large city, the noise of crowds and heavy traffic is so relentless that it can be difficult to find peace and quiet. What do you think relentless means? Write it there. And 10, the word is pronounced reprisal. Okay, again, reprisal. In reprisal for being fired, a troubled man shot several people at the factory where he used to work. And the next example, fear of reprisal may keep children from telling their parents or teachers about a bully who has threatened them. So what do you think reprisal means? Please complete page 76 and 77. And now, you can always pause the video if you need more time, but now I'm going to go ahead and start you also on chapter 14 as well. So we finished chapter 13 and now chapter 14. The first word in chapter 14 is pronounced averse. That little boy was once so averse to tomatoes that the very sight of them made him gag. Gag means feel sick. Being averse to screaming crowds, I'd rather to just listen to my iPod than go to a rock concert. So what does averse mean? Okay, looking at page 80, number 2. The word is pronounced detract. Again, detract. Julius thinks the scar on his cheek detracts from his good looks, but it's barely noticeable. All of the litter is trash, all of the litter in the park certainly detracts from the beauty of the trees and the flowers. The third word is disdain. Again, disdain. The snobby server in the French restaurant viewed Tanya with disdain because she couldn't pronounce anything on the menu. I was afraid my request to see the state senator would be treated with disdain. Instead, the senator's secretary politely made an appointment for me. So what do you think disdain means? The next word is pronounced, the fourth word on page 80, divulge. Again, the word divulge. My father wouldn't divulge the type of car he bought, saying only, it's a surprise. It's against the law to ask people to divulge their age at a job interview. So, based on those examples, what does divulge mean? 5. Elation. Again, pronounce elation. The principal shouted with elation when the football team scored the winning touchdown. And Roy had expected to feel elation at his graduation. Instead, he felt sadness at the thought of not seeing his high school friends every day. 6. The word is pronounced endow. Again, endow. Nature has endowed hummingbirds with the ability to fly backward. A hummingbird is a small bird that flaps his wings very quickly. The next example, the author Oscar Wilde was endowed with the ability to find humor in any situation. While dying, he said of the ugly wallpaper in his hotel room, "One of us had to go." Joke. So what do you think endow means? Our next word at the top of page 81 is expulsion. Again, expulsion. We know ex, that prefix means out. Remember extrovert? We talked about that word. It means outward going person. So this is expulsion. Let's see what this means. The manager told us we risked expulsion from the theater if we continued to talk on our cell phones during the movie. Expulsion from school is supposed to be a punishment, but some students may consider not being allowed to attend classes a reward. Our next word is mortify, and that word is actually based on the prefix mort, which means death, honestly. So a mortgage or a mortician, those are people who deal with dead people. So we'll just kind of see if that has anything to do with this. It would mortify me if my voice cracked during the choir solo. A choir is a singing group. A solo is one person singing by themselves. And the next example, I doubt anything will ever mortify me more than the streamer of toilet paper that clung to my shoe as I returned from the ladies' room to rejoin my date in a fancy restaurant. Okay, based on those two examples, what do you suppose it means, mortify? All right, our next word is pronounced nullify. Again, nullify. The examples, the college will nullify my student ID at the end of the term unless I update it with a new sticker. A soft drink company decided to nullify its contract with a well-known athlete because he was convicted of drunken driving. So, null means nothing. What do you suppose nullify means? And the last word in these two chapters is ominous. Again pronounced ominous. And the examples, to many cemeteries, that's where they bury dead people, to many cemeteries have an ominous quality, particularly at night or on Halloween, when the threat of ghosts can seem very real. And the next example, the sore's failure to heal was ominous, a possible sign of cancer. Okay, so based on those examples, what do you think ominous means? And now please complete all of chapter 80 and 81 as part of your homework for this week, and we will complete these two chapters, 13 and 14, in class after we've reviewed these answers when we come back on Thursday. Thank you.